Hi, Middle Threes. Welcome back and Happy New Year. Today we're going to talk about poetry as this is the unit that we're working on. I know a lot of you have expressed anxiety around poetry because you think that you don't know what the words mean or you don't know if your analysis or interpretation are correct. I'm here to tell you that you are correct. Whenever you analyze and interpret poetry, consider yourself a poetry expert. Be confident in what you are thinking and what you want to say. And just know that your interpretations and analysis are deemed correct if you can prove it. If you can show examples and evidence from the poem to support how you interpret it, it is correct. However, if you can't show enough examples and enough analysis and interpretations from the poem to show what you're thinking is correct, then we will revisit the poem and look at what you're saying to try to find out if there's something better that you can say about it. Okay? But I want you all to rest assured and know that I will never say that your interpretations are incorrect. I will help you to develop your interpretations some more if you don't find enough evidence from the poem. You are poetry experts, rest assured. To help you to interpret your poems with as much detail and depth and as much accuracy as possible, we will today talk about the 5 essential poetry questions that you will answer. Please refer to this handout that I have given you while you are watching this little video. We're going to go through all 5 questions and I'm going to explain them to you so that you can think about them tonight and you can come up with your own interpretation of these 5 questions before you come to class tomorrow, where we will really use these 5 questions to analyze a new unseen poem. Okay, so question number 1. What is the poem about? This question is very basic. You are literally telling me what the poem is about. You are not doing any analysis. You will read the poem, look at the facts, and just retell the facts. You will say, in the poem, this happened first, this happened second, this happened third, this happened at the end. That's all you're going to do. You are not thinking about what the poet is saying or what he means when he's saying something. All you are saying are the straight facts. You're just recalling and retelling the straight facts. You are paraphrasing what you see in the poem for question number 1. What is the poem about? Question number 2. What is the mood and atmosphere like? In this question, what you are doing is you are thinking about the setting. You are thinking about the feelings. When you read this, what do you picture? Do you picture something dark and mysterious? Do you picture something depressing? Do you picture something overjoyed? Do you picture something happy? Is it bright? Is it sunny? Is it gloomy? Is it red? Is it perturbed? What are you feeling? You're thinking about what you're imagining and what you're seeing and the setting. And in this question, you're going to address that. You're going to address what you see and what you feel. Again, remember, when we're answering these questions, you're going to have to use facts and examples from the poem to support what you are, what you see, and what you feel. Okay? Question number 3. What poetic devices have been used and how are they effective? This question has the word and in it, so it's twofold. You are going to answer what poetic devices have been used and how they are effective. We will study this in depth because first we're going to have to learn what the poetic devices are. You know many of them and you are experts at many of them, so some of them will come quite easily, quite readily. Others will be more challenging, which we will work on together. Some examples of poetic devices are figurative language, such as similes, metaphors, personification, onomatopoeia. We also know that some poems have rhyme schemes, there's rhythm, alliteration, assonance, consonants. We will learn about all of these. So if you have heard some words that you do not know about, don't worry about it. Not only will you learn how to define them and how to identify them in poems, you will learn why those elements make a poem effective. Because as you know, writers have decisions to make, and so do poets. They need to decide if they're going to use a metaphor, a simile, personification, if they're going to use a rhyme pattern. Why are they going to do it? How is it going to enhance the poem? So in this question, not only are you going to identify figurative language, identify poetic devices, you're going to talk about why the poet has used it to make it effective in the poem itself. Okay, and we will work on this question. There's a lot going on here. Question number 4. What is the message of the poem? Now, this is the essence of the poem. This is where you have to put everything together. You've got to put together what is the literal points of the poem, what the mood and what the atmosphere is like, what the poetic devices are, and you need to critically put it together and think about what is the point of this poem? Why did the poet write this poem? What is the message? What is he or she trying to say? About the world, about society, about anything. What is the bigger picture? Why am I reading it? What will this do in my life? And that's what you have to think about there. And that really is why we read poetry. Is why, what does it have to do with us? Why does it apply to us? That is what question number 4 is. And again, you have to use evidence from the poem to support your point. You can have a different message than me, a different message than your classmates, but you have to use evidence to support your point. Got it? The last question is the opinion question. This is where you get to tell me and get to tell your classmates if you like the poem or not. And you can be honest, but you just can't say, I hate it. I hate this poem, it's garbage. You have to tell us why. Do you disagree with what the poet said? Do you not like his perspective or her perspective? Do you not like the way the figurative language that's used? Or do you not like the poetic devices of a rhyme scheme? Whatever it is. Or does it not apply to your life? Okay, a lot of times we like poems that we can connect to. So this is a wonderful place to also talk about if you feel that this poem connects to your life. And if it doesn't, you might not like it. But if it's talking about a best friend that's moved away, and you have a best friend that's moved away, and you feel like it's touched you so much, you might really like it because you can connect to it. So this is a wonderful place to talk about if you like it, you don't like it, but also to add in your connections. Putting your connections here will help to develop your poem, help to develop your response to question number 5, which is the opinion question. So again, to review, there are 5 questions, okay, that are here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 1 is, what is the poem about? Number 2 is, what is the mood or atmosphere like? Number 3 is, what poetic devices have been used and how are they effective? Number 4 is, what is the message of the poem? And number 5 is the opinion one. How do you connect to the poem? And do you like the poem? What you're going to do now, after watching this video, is you're going to reword each question in your own words so that you fully understand what each question is asking you to do. Obviously, you can use some of the words that I have used, but you want to make sure that you understand what you are expected to do in each question. Bring this to class tomorrow and we will look at this and we will use these 5 essential poetry questions to analyze a new poem. Good luck. See you tomorrow.